A burned woman with no identity, found in Norway's Death Valley, surrounded by suitcases full of disguises, fake passports, and cash. Who was she, a spy, a fugitive, or something more sinister? Stay with us, because the truth behind the Isdal Woman is stranger than fiction. On the cold morning of November 29, 1970, a man and his two daughters were hiking in Isdalen, a remote area near Bergen, Norway, ominously nicknamed Death Valley. They stumbled across a horrifying sight, the charred body of a woman, lying among the rocks, her arms clenched close to her torso, her face unrecognizable. The Bergen police arrived and launched a full-scale investigation, naming it Case 13470. Near the body, they found a campfire, an empty St. Halvard liqueur bottle, 2 plastic water bottles, a plastic passport holder, rubber boots, a wool sweater, scarves, nylons, cosmetics, and more. All labels had been removed, and around her lay burned paper and a fur hat soaked in petrol. 3 days later, 2 suitcases were found at Bergen's railway station. Inside, clothes, wigs, cosmetics, maps, 135 Norwegian kroner, coins from different countries, and even 5 100 Deutsche Mark notes hidden in the lining. Again, all identifying marks were removed. The autopsy revealed something chilling. The woman had 50 to 70 sleeping pills in her system, and soot in her lungs, meaning she was alive when she burned. She also had neck bruises, possibly from a fall or assault. Her teeth and jaw were preserved due to unique dental work, and tissue samples were collected. Police traced her last known sighting to Hotel Hordeheimen, where she stayed under a false identity and checked out on November 23, 6 days before her body was found. Witnesses described her as beautiful, reserved, and always cautious. She paid in cash, changed hotel rooms frequently, and told staff she was an antiquities dealer. Using a decoded notepad found in her suitcase, police discovered she had traveled across Norway and Europe, using at least 8 aliases, all backed by false passports. These included names like Genevieve Lancier, Claudia Tield, and Elizabeth Lienhauer. Most claimed Belgian nationality, and her forms were filled in French or German. She wore wigs, spoke multiple languages, and always kept a low profile. The case baffled Norwegian police and Interpol. Composite sketches were released internationally, but no identity was ever confirmed. Officially, authorities ruled it a suicide, but many believe she was murdered or executed, perhaps as a spy. Here's why. Her frequent travels matched the secret testing locations of Norway's top-secret Penguin missile program. A fisherman claimed to have seen her near missile testing sites in Stavanger. A shoe salesman in Stavanger sold her boots matching those found at the crime scene. Years later, a taxi driver anonymously reported that another man accompanied the woman to the station on November 23, possibly her handler or killer. In 2005, a man claimed he saw her 5 days before her body was found. She looked out of place, lightly dressed for a hike, trailed by 2 men with southern features. He tried to report it, but police dismissed him. In 2016, the case was reopened, and forensic experts examined her jaw and teeth. Isotope analysis showed she was likely born around 1930 in Nuremberg, Germany, and raised near the French-German border. Her handwriting also indicated a French or Belgian education. She had rare dental work, possibly done in East Asia or Southern Europe. In 2018, the BBC and NRK released a gripping podcast, Death in Ice Valley, bringing fresh attention to the mystery. With the help of geneticists and the DNA Doe project, they revealed she belonged to mtDNA haplogroup H24, suggesting roots in Southeast Europe or Southwest Asia. A man in Forbach, France said he had a brief relationship with her in 1970. She was a polyglot, avoided personal questions, and received mysterious calls from abroad. He believed she was a spy, especially after discovering multiple wigs and a horse-riding photo in her belongings. In 2023, a Swiss newspaper linked the woman to François Genoud, a banker with known ties to espionage and extremist circles. It also suggested that Norwegian intelligence interfered with the original investigation. To this day, the Isdal Woman remains unidentified. Her body lies in an unmarked Catholic grave in Møllendal Cemetery, buried in a zinc coffin, preserved for future investigations. 16 police officers silently watched her burial. A final tribute to a woman whose life and death remain cloaked in secrecy. Was she a spy? A victim of espionage? Or a woman trying to escape her past? With DNA, witnesses, and the persistence of investigative journalism, her story continues to haunt and fascinate.